Hello and welcome to Starting Out Sober. My name is Matthew James Sullivan. I am your host. Let's see how many days sober I am. I did my app earlier, but I forgot how many days I'm at. I am at 180 days. Wow. So 90 times two. Pretty cool stuff. Getting close to that 6 months mark. I got about 5 days till I get 6 months. And we're going to celebrate that 6 months, and I'll talk about that more when we get closer. But today I want to talk about staying vigilant in your sobriety. Now, I was thinking about it today because I'm doing my recovery program, and each passing week I have less and less to say. I don't have any cravings. I don't really have many issues right now. Life is good, but I continue doing this podcast. I talking to people. I talk about my sobriety. My in-laws were in town this week. We had multiple conversations about sobriety and everything, and it just made me realize that even though I'm comfortable right now, I have to stay vigilant. I really do. I have to, maintain the sobriety. I have to do well. I have to keep going, keep thinking, keep holding myself accountable. Because when you stop holding yourself accountable and you get too comfortable, that's when slip ups can happen. And I do not want that to happen. I absolutely do not want that to happen. I do not want any slip ups ever in my life. I never want to have a drink again. I am firm in that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about today is just staying vigilant. So how do you stay vigilant? you know, for me, it's one thing is actually doing this podcast twice a week. Coming up with new topics twice a week because I'm getting to the point where I start when I started this podcast, I had ideas written out, I had podcasts written out, but now I'm just coming into each day with just a brand new topic with a new idea. And I was thinking about that interview I did, if you listen to that in the OS Connect, and how that really held me accountable, talking so openly and being that vulnerable, with a human I've only met like once before in my life, and just really diving deep into my sober story and my drinking habits and everything. And that's one thing that helped me accountable was just like, opening up and being open with people. And that's something I really want to do more of is continue to be vulnerable because I think being vulnerable really holds myself accountable and kind of helps me stay vigilant. So, as I get to the 6 month mark, I'm thinking about, do I start opening up to more and more people about my sobriety and my sober story? And I think I'm coming to the conclusion that I kind of want to. I was talking about this with my therapist this past week, how, maybe this podcast can help like the general public of people that I know that don't know that I'm sober. I'm really just talking to strangers on this podcast and, on TikTok and everything. So I kind of want to be more open and stay more vulnerable and talk to people that maybe could that I once knew that could use some help. So that's kind of all I have to say today. So if you like the podcast, give me some stars or whatever. Follow me along, and I'll be back Thursday. If you like the music, it's Snow Melt, 2 words, Snow Melt. You can find me on Instagram at Starting Out Sober Pod and on TikTok at Starting Out Sober. All right, I'll talk to you on Thursday.